Evil Genius 2 is well on the way. Why not learn the basics with the 2004 original game while you wait? There are some things evil geniuses just don't do. Making conservative furniture choices, dress down Fridays, having a particularly long career is another one thanks to those suave bloody secret agents. And yet, in a paradoxical move that's in danger of ripping the very fabric of space-time, Evil Genius is returning with a sequel. Check the description for more details. In the meantime, digest these little pointers on the original game to help you on your way to being the richest, baddest, most maniacal mind ever to live in a hollowed out mountain. There's no game like it, at least until the sequel arrives, so it's worth arming yourself with these knowledge bombs. And yes, we do have the cheat codes. If this has got you all hot under your minion jumpsuit in anticipation for the sequel, why not wishlist Evil Genius 2 on Steam? Or head to evilgeniusgame.com to download the Spytastic soundtrack for free. One more thing before we get to it, remember to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from us. Building a supervillain lair is very much a learn-on-the-job type of thing. You'll build a modest gallery of rooms that are adequate to meet your first few objectives, then you'll realise you built everything much too small and you'll want to start again. And there's no easy 2020 style way to do that, so it really pays to save often in Evil Genius. With a few strategically deployed quick saves trailing behind you, you're free to experiment in the moment without the crushing weight of actual consequences to kill your architectural buzz. The same's true of all your maniacal endeavours really. There's so much depth and scope for experimenting here, so don't be afraid to make mistakes and see what happens when you do. Just learn that useful info, hit the load game button if it all goes Peter Tong, and be a better Bond villain the next time around.
Wunderbar.
It might sound like an odd bit of advice to recommend using cheats to learn Evil Genius, and no, I'm not getting Major Charles Ingram to ghostwrite these scripts for me. I really do think you should mess around with the console commands as a learning tool. And here's why. This is the beginning of the game, when your objectives are really just about building basic rooms and learning about things like lockers, which as it turns out are the most important and powerful item in the game. But say you've been through it once already and you don't need to take the early gamers slowly. Time for Human Z. Don't ask me why, but type the word Human Z onto the main screen, as in HUMANZEE, like chimpanzee but a human, and you'll unlock all cheats. From here, you just need to press Ctrl and C for an extra 100k, and you can do this a few times by the way, Ctrl and O to unlock all objects, and Ctrl and T to unlock all traps. That's just between us. I won't tell anyone you use them. It doesn't take away from the challenge of the game by any means. There's still the matter of recruiting new minion types by capturing and interrogating different characters, designing effective traps, completing acts of infamy on the world map, and all sorts more. What pressing that hallowed combination of keys does do is allow you to muck about at your own pace, building a base according to whatever whim you've got in your head at a given moment, and seeing what happens when you make it so. Okay, so you've used your newfound hacking powers to flood your base with ping pong tables, and yet there's still a nagging suspicion that you perhaps haven't seen all the game has to offer. What's up with that? Well, a lot of the goings on in Evil Genius happen here on the world map. It's a bit more abstract than your base, but these flags and character indicators show you important missions. Deploying a few minions to plot in each region uncovers more of them, if you have the control units back home to deal with the data. So it's a good idea to keep checking back and forth between the two halves of the game. More minions means more control units to man and to deploy in the field, which means more missions and more ill-gotten gains. Everybody wins, except everybody who isn't you.
Mission underway.
Onto one of the trickiest parts of the game now, and you might want to take a seat, pour yourself a stiff Vimto and think about your happy place before we get to it. No, I'm just kidding, but getting access to different types of minions is definitely a challenge in Evil Genius, and the old Human Z cheat won't help you here. Besides, that was just between us anyway, wasn't it? To get anything other than basic worker minions, you need to drag different unit types back to your base, put them in a holding cell, and then interrogate them at a station like this. If your interrogator ends up going to town on a regular tourist, this ends up happening. No new minion type, and now you've got a body to deal with too. over to the freezer with you, thank you very much. But when the evil genius gods smile on you and you catch the right unit type, like this maid who produces valets, your worker minion transforms into a new unit type after a successful interrogation, and you can now recruit more of them. You'll need to check you have the right kit in your training room though. Quite full on this world domination stuff.
Caution, cannot accommodate this many minions.
Now, maybe this tip's redundant, I don't know, let's hear you in the comments, but building traps is really key. I say it might be redundant because chances are if you spent any length of time at all with the original game, it was probably spent designing traps. Why wouldn't you? I mean, look at these mental circular saw things. But even though there's every chance you know more about traps than me, I'm still going to go over them anyway, because they're not just about keeping people out of your safe room or away from lovely Maximilian. You can turn traps into money machines by keeping your unfortunate guests stuck in them forever. As long as they're zooming between these fans here and being stuffed full of gas to make them too stupid to figure out how to escape, they'll earn you money, and that will attract much less heat than stealing cash on the world map. Minions are a funny bunch, aren't they? They seem to spend an inordinate amount of time in the break room playing Space Invaders on your dollar, even though those paintings you told them to put up 2 months ago still aren't hung, and then, having presumably deliberately chosen a life of crime and servitude, said goodbye to their families and moved out to this desert island where they live with 50 men who look exactly like them in a grim dormitory full of lockers and bunk beds, they get a bit freaked out when they see a body and they desert you. Whew, thanks for that, I feel better now. But there's a point to this rant, and it's that although you can't control individual minions manually, you can check in on them as individuals. And when you do, you'll see how loyal or disloyal they're feeling, which gives you valuable data about whether you might need to build an even better break room, or make more effort to keep dead bodies out of sight and decaying in a nice freezer where they won't lower morale.
Das ist gut, ja. Ja.
One more before I leave you to it, and this one comes from bitter experience. Don't run out of power for your base, because it's really embarrassing when you do. Look at this, the whole place submerged in darkness, everyone standing around saying, "Oh, boss has messed up again, look. Wonder if his direct debit to Empower went out alright." If you have any Eternal Damnation style fan traps, they've probably failed and let your captives go, and basically the whole thing's gone to pot. The solution's dead easy. Just build more power generators than you think you'll ever need and fortify them behind proper security doors so secret agents can't pop in and take them down.
Emergency, power shortage. All power consuming objects offline.
There we go, a few handy tips to help you on your way. I bet there are some Evil Genius pros watching this, so let's see you in the comments with wisdom of your own that'll help new players out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button if you haven't already. Give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.